here we are in the middle of this work. These extensions are added, you don't normally see them. Commemoravimus. We have commemorated nostra, our own stories, with a very studious attention. Nunc, now, let it be narrated, rather, actually, let's narrate Alienus. So it's contrasting our own histories and stories with that of Alienus, with foreigners, with a more remiss animo, with a more relaxed mind or heart. Perdita luxury, so someone was very wasteful of their luxuries, like the prodigal child, and it looks like an adolescent Polemo was at Athens. And neither tantomoto was it merely these lures, these types of lures, but even the infamy itself that he would rejoice at. So he liked doing a lot of wasting money, and even like being made infamous for doing this. When from a convivium, from a party or a feast one day, not post the occasion solis, not after the setting of the sun, but post the autumn of the sun, which is the rising, he surrexited, he got up, rediens domum, returning home. What have we got here? An open door, patientum door videscit, he saw, of the philosopher Xenocrates, so he's in Athens. I was going to throw in the daily dictionary, but I might leave it for a while. Anyway, vino gravus, he was heavy with wine. He was delibutus, so he was smeared with unguents, ointments and smelling perfumes. With certus, these are like coronas or wreaths on his capod and his head. He was redeemed, so he was wearing it on his head. Per lucida vest, he had clear see-through clothing. Amictus is a cloak or something. The refertam, what's this go with? Scholem, there was a packed school with a crowd of learned humans, doctorum humans, which he introverted. So this is his door that he saw, he went through, and it was packed of learned men. Non-contentus, he wasn't content with so deformed an introit, an entrance. Deformed, it just means ugly. And he considered it etiam, and he sat down even. Ut looks like a purpose, so that the clarissimum eloquensis, so there's very famous eloquence, and most prudissimum, that's superlative, to make these preceptor, that's the instructions, so that it looks like the most famous eloquence and the very wise precepts, he could make light of, he could lighten, elevowit, it's to make something lighter. Tarantula means he was drunk, and lascivious his wantonness or playfulness. So he sat down and in his drunken state and wanted to make some mockery of these wise precepts and eloquence. Okay. Orta deindi. So then something ordered, it arose. As par urat, as you'd expect if you play golf, means which is to make a par in a hole, means is what's expected. Looks like arose with this indignation of omnium, of all of them. Indignation started with all of them. Xenocrates is the guy who's the philosopher, whose house they're at, I'm guessing. He contained his vultum, that's with a V or a U, in the eodem habitu. So his face, he contained in the same habitu, same habitual look or something. Ablative absolute, omissa qui re, so he's dropped off the matter of quam, which he was discerebrating, he was speaking about. And concerning modesty and temperantia, self-control, he coepit to loqui, he began to speak on these other topics. Curtius, of which, with the gravity of the sermon, coactus, he was forced, it looks like, Polomeno was forced to recipescere, to become wise again. That's what it literally means. He's chucked something, he's projected the, so he's doing this first of all, primum, the crown which he's detracted, taken away from his capite, from his head, he's then chucked. Paul post a little bit afterwards, his brachium, neuter, his arm, he reduxed, he put inside his pallium, which is his cloak he was wearing. In the preceding time, during which something happened, he's put down this convivialis, the hilarity is being happy, these must be double genitives, of his partying face. So he's put down all this joking, put away the jokingness from his partying face. He's because he was coming back from wherever it was, convivium, which is a bit of a party in a feast. Anyway, he's put all that away. We'll continue. Ad ultimum, to the ultimate, to the end, or whatever. Total luxury he exhibited. So it looks like he's chucked off all these types of excessive living, totem luxury, and of one oration. This is one of those praetor nominatives. There's like 9 of them, whatever, the naughty 9, which has a genitive and a dative in I. What do we got? He was socratis. He was healed by the salubrious medicina. That's the superlative. By the very health-giving medicine of one oration, he was healed. And X. So from an infamous ganone, which is someone who's a glutton who eats too much, he evaded. He turned away. It looks like he became a Maximus philosophus. So peregrinatus means someone who's travelled. So his mind or heart, we saw up here with the same word. So his heart or soul had been travelling in Nequidia, that's in worthlessness, but it was not living there. It didn't habituate of it there. So he lived for a while in these things, but in the long run he became a Maximus philosophus. Okay, there's a footnote about this guy in the lobe. It says he succeeded Xenocrates as the head of the academy in 315. For his conversion, see Horace Satires. Okay, so that's that story. 6.9 extension 2. Piget, something that causes regret. Causes regret to attingere, to touch on the adolescence. That's a stage of life. He's the youth of Themistocles. Or Sieve, should I look upon his patrim, his father, join this notam, probably means, stigma. It's a mark of abdicationis. That's when you disinherit your son. So is some sort of stain. Or his matrim, his mother, who propter, on account of the turpiditudinem, the disgracefulness of her son, she was coactem, she was forced, taking the infinitive, to end her vitam. She was forced to end her life by suspendio. She hung herself. When postea afterwards, of all Graeci, of all Greeks, it looks like he would pass on as the most clarissima, the most famous of the blood of all Greek men. He would become, in the middle of Asia and Europe, we have here, either of hope or of desperation, fuerit. He was the pignus, which is a pledge of hope or desperation. And how far are we going today? Down to there. Okay, so here's the Daily Dictionary. Abdicatio. Looks like abdication. A renunciation. You renounce someone, or you disown or disinherit them. And if you're in office, it means you've resigned from this office. Okay. Where was I? Enum 4. We've got correlatives here. Haec and illa. So haec could mean the former. So the former would be Europa. For Europe had him, eum, as a patrum salutis. He was a safety to them, where the later Asia absumpted him, took him up as a vadem, comes from vase, it's a pledge of victory. Okay. Extension 3. Chimonus viro, which means but or moreover again, post-positive. But Simon, from his inocula, from his cradle years, what do we got? Referta furant. He was packed with opinions or viewpoints which are of stupidity. So, looked like when he was young he was an idiot. Eustem adulta, and of him when he's an adult, the Athenians censuranted. They sensed him to be salutaria. He was a bit of a saving for them in imperiums and when he gave orders. Okay. Itaque. And so accordingly, cogit he forced, eos them. Okay, we'll take this little clausey. Those who creditorant, those who believed him to be stolidum, to be stupid, to damnate themselves, with stupidity. So those who thought him stupid found themselves to be stupid. Extension 4. For Alcibiades, quasi as if, two fortunes partitioned or divided as if it was of two fortunes. We have altera. We're going down to here today. So that means one, qua which. Yeah, so we'll compare that altera. We've got another altera down here, so I've got correlatives again. Okay, so which to him was eximiam nobilitum. So eximium just means a special again. He had an exceptional nobility. He was abundantes in divitas, so lots of riches. He was praestantissimus, very forward-showing in his form, which would be his appearance, his beauty. He had the favorem propensum, like full-on favour of the civium, of the people. He had summa imperii, he had utmost command, and another word for exceptional, praecupius. He had a special powers, strength and powers. And here he was assigned, it's next to this other altera, and he was assigned these, or he had these, and he had a phlegrissima, you might want to say, a very burning ingenium or character or nature. And the other, there's the altera, which was condemnation, exilium, exile, vendation of his goods, the selling of his goods, probably the state took it, inopia, became poverty bound or something. He was the odium of his patria, he was hated of his home country, and infligurated, so this would be this, how these two fortunes were partitioned. One, he had all this favour, etc., and then he suffered a violentiam mortem, a violent death. Neither either haec or illa was universally, so it wasn't full on to either haec or illa, as we saw former and later, but various perplexes, various entanglements, or whatever it was, they were mixed into different stages of life, similar to the straits, the frets, that's like the straits of water, and the seething tides or whatever, so it's comparing here to water. That's it for the day.